Hello, welcome. I'm Heinzel Kunzman, and I am the host of this evening's Sherman Griffin event. And I'm also the executive director for the Sherman Griffin. And we're just starting, we're getting things started here with events for the Sherman Griffin. And we're going to be putting them on once every 2 weeks on Saturday evenings at from 7 p.m. To 8 p.m. On these Saturday evenings. So this evening we have a very special poet from here in Milwaukee, Kavon Cortez, and he will be performing for you in just a moment. But I'd like to say a few quick things about the Sherman Griffin. This evening, any tips for Kavon it can go to his Venmo account, which is flashing across the bottom of the screen at the moment. Any donations that are given to the Sherman Griffin this evening will go to future performances through that are currently going to be held online. And we would like to say a special thank you to Matisse Jonas for his donation for these performances. And we welcome any other donations. If you're having trouble with using these types of apps to make donations, please send me a message, and I can help accommodate you the best I can. Also, if you go to our website, which I'll put in the comment section in a moment, you can also make donations for the Sherman Griffin there. Donations during the week, Monday through Thursday late at night, or I guess Friday morning, those donations go towards the construction of the Sherman Griffin. And any donations made from Friday noon until Sunday midnight will go towards performances. Sherman Griffin will be located at 3825 West Center, and currently it is an abandoned building, which will be reconstructed by Quorum Architects and through the help of various local foundations. This is a $1 million project, and we hope to begin construction within the next 2 to 3 months, and hopefully have a venue for you by the end of the year. On the first floor, we will have a cafe operated by our very own Milwaukee Sam Belton. And on the second floor, we will have a music school for kids anywhere in Milwaukee, but mainly intended for the families in Sherman Griffin, in the Sherman Park area. Friday and Saturday nights, we plan to have entertainment, mainly jazz performances, but not excluding poetry as well as comedy performances. So please visit our website. I'll put the website in the comment section. Please take a look at our website. We'll have updates there constantly. I'll also put our future upcoming events that we have in March. On March 13th, we will have the Donna Woodall Trio. And March 27th, we'll be hosting the Neil Davis, Steve Peplin duo. And April's schedule is still in the making. We'll get that going pretty soon here. We're starting to use a different platform for streaming. This is StreamYard. We started off with Switcher. Now we're switching over to StreamYard. And this seems to be going pretty well, so we'll probably keep this format for a while. All right, without further ado, we would like to welcome Kavon Cortez. This is a special poetry presentation, part of Black History Month. We'll be doing this every February going forward. And Kavon is from Milwaukee. He is a local young talent. And you can find his, I'll put it in the comment section in a moment. You can find more of his material through StreamCloud. And most of his poetry that I've encountered relates to themes of hanging out with his friends here in Milwaukee. And so we'll see very soon what types of themes he presents to us this evening. Kavon, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, we got you muted here. Why are you muted? We will get you unmuted. Let's see here.
I can.
Now we can hear you. We got you now. Okay.
Cool.
All right, Kavon, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy. I'm not nervous, and After just saying that, I'm a little bit less nervous.
Great. Okay. Can you tell us describe your entire life in 3 sentences?
3 sentences. I am a Milwaukee native. Started writing poetry when I was 13. Attended Dr. King Elementary, KA school, Riverside University, and graduated when I was 19. And the past 8 years, I've been pursuing my dreams as a writer. Thank you, Heiso, and Christina for being a part of it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I hope this is the beginning of many more years together. And I should also point out that Kavon is this evening is at the Jazz Gallery, also on Center Street. Okay, but much further east. And so we would like to thank the Jazz Gallery for allowing us to use their venue. And hopefully soon we'll have gatherings there as well as the Sherman Griffin. And so the Jazz Gallery has a lot of artwork for you to peruse and enjoy. And they used to have live jazz jams, open jams on. It used to be Tuesday nights until COVID hit, right? And so then I don't know if they'll get that going sometime soon in the future. So anyway, without further ado, why don't we let Kavon take over from here, and while he's talking, I'll put in the comment section the Sherman Griffin website, and I'll look for Kavon's SoundCloud platform and put that there too. Please feel free. I see there's some people viewing. Please feel free to chat with each other while you're listening to Kavon. Lots of encouragement for him is definitely welcome, and any positive, uplifting comments or inspirational comments are also very welcome. So without further ado, let's let Kavon take it away from here. Thank you.
Cool. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for attending and listening in this very weird time. Remember, one day at a time. Thank you, Heiso, for asking me to do this. So I found my purpose. One of those lucky people who found their purpose when I was 13. This gift was always in me, and it took about maybe 5 years to develop this. And I wrote this first narration right after high school entitled Paris of the Midwest, because why not Milwaukee? I had writer's block for 3 days. My notebook hadn't felt the fingertips of a finished poem caress its pages for 72 hours. It was mental torture as emerald serpent mornings bubble constricted around those purple phoenix nights. Those abstract colored beasts were the symbolism of my time of day. I was wanderlusted. My lust to wonder was lavender as the naked lights I saw when I closed my eyes. I wandered downtown and climbed to the top of the U.S. Bank building. Feet dangling, the sky was a purplish blue quilt on my shoulders. The moon wore a big Wisconsin cheese smile. I could see the whole entire city from that height. Probably even as far as Lambeau Field. If I had my glasses, I sat, I wrote, I scribbled, I ripped pages out of writer's block syndrome. A perpetual headache throbbed. It felt like an anvil was dropped on my head. It slowly went away with a seldom felt June breeze. I let sights of the city take my breath away. I saw an inundation of cars on Wisconsin Avenue, the epitome of New York's Times Square streets. Blacks and Germans were leaving out the east side, pubs, taverns, and eateries, intoxicated and standing cross-legged. St. Patrick's Day is the greatest night to binge. Budweiser, Blacks, Miller, Blue Ribbon, Heineken, Golden Brown, and bubbly in their cups. I saw bikers in their black polyester tights cycling down the Oakley Trail, a single white light flashing in front of their rear wheels. Beachgoers was in flimsy bikinis and Hawaiian swim shorts at the North Point pub, rear seated on outside umbrella tables, slicing their tongues down frozen custard on the cone. I saw Oakland Avenue. Thrift store hippies were coming out the Goodwill. The thin aroma of artificial cheese, pizza from the Little Caesars. The smell of brilliantly cooked and seasoned lamb meat was coming out the Oakland Heroes restaurant. I heard talented guitarists and ambitious slam poets doing their thing in the Myanmar theater. Mother Nature's daughter, Sandy, flashed the light, signifying the start of a new performance. Blissed up performance game to get a CD audio recording, $2 cost. Nostalgia I gained when I saw the past 4 years of my life embodied in one building, Riverside High. Unwritten memories, two-faced faces of so-called friends. The days of room 321 and 317, Mr. Moga Poetry Club days. gives me mental tears. I ask God for a panacea because I am allergic to nostalgia. It literally takes my breath away. I had breathed once more when I looked at my beautiful downtown home city lights. I can honestly say, Cream City, you are the Paris of the Midwest. If your arch nemesis Chicago has something to say about it, call up some Packers fans to TP it's Sears. Willis Towers with rolls of cheese. I'll take your cheese curds over a Satow style hot dog any day. Your smooth selling Marquette interchange gripping Harleys give you more Motown than the Motor City of Detroit. Henry Ford's trucks are mediocre to your motorcycles. You put the slam in my poetry. You put the slam in this poem. I feel like a million walking when I walk your streets. I love you, Milwaukee. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Give you guys some space. Again, I'm Kavon Cortez Jones, Kavon Cortez. And here's a narration, another narration, Fried Bologna and Kool-Aid. My friend Emilio makes a lot of jokes about this poem here.
Hey, that was fantastic, Kavon. That was really, really great. Hey, can I ask you real quick? What are your sources of inspiration or influence? Obviously, you're continuing with the themes of hanging out in Milwaukee, but also, obviously Packers too. So I guess you're going for the broader Wisconsin geographical area, right? Are there any other inspirations that you get for your poetry?
Yes, my favorite contemporary poet is this Japanese Jewish woman from Manhattan, New York, named Sarah Kay. I met her twice, once in Philadelphia for Brave New Voices back in 2014, and then I met her again. Philadelphia in 2014. Then I met her at a Chicago poetry block party, like 2 years later in 2016. I took a selfie with her, a picture with her, and she's really cool. I love Charles Bukowski, and that's about it.
Cool, awesome. All right, I'll let you carry on. Thanks.
Cool. Another inspiration is Lupe Fiasco. Ramen noodle soups, you make the best. Water in the milk to make it stretch. That's the hood now. Yes, sir, that's the hood now. Lupe Fiasco. Sometimes, little weeks before first of the month, our money was scarce when we lived on 24th and Burleigh and 20th and Center. We didn't have enough to go out to eat. We didn't have enough money for the usual low-income neighborhood fast food joints. No Popeyes, KFC, or occasional JJ's Fish and Chicken some Fridays. We hit the corner store instead with loose pocket change, scraped out the couch cushions, and wrinkled Washingtons out mom's purse, little over 5 greenbacks altogether. My mama made it stretch like a box of Newports on a month's time. 2 99-cent packs of bologna, loaf of Wonder Bread, $1 worth of pocket candy, novelators, everyone called non-lotters, Jolly Ranchers, Hubba Bubba, mini Snickers, and a big bag of hot flamings. My mama sacrificed her 4-pack of Colt 45 for my sister Maisha and I. The Tennessee Belle got home, slapped the slimy pink bologna slices on a pitch black skillet and fried them up till it was a little burnt on one side. In October, rainstorm of sizzling, thundering and lightning, pops of grease in the pan reminded us to stay far away from the stove while mama cooked. Our pet mutt, named after our favorite PBS show, Wishbone, barked with his eyes emerald glow and gleeful tail wag, made it seem like a flying saucer landed in the backyard. Young imagination gone wild. I made red Kool-Aid in a recycled milk jug, made sure to shake it up real nice. Got yelled at if I spilled sugar all over the kitchen floor, or roaches came with hungry pincers. Mama spooned salad dressing and forked the fried bologna between white bread for each of us. We used salad dressing because it was cheaper than commercialized Miracle Whip. A hood sandwich was born, like bruh man from Martin said. Side of hot flaming spilled on a styrofoam plate straight out the bag. Red Kool-Aid poured and cleansed out pickle and jelly jars. We subconsciously knew the food was unhealthy, but it was the only thing we had. We fell asleep with spiral blue galaxies for eyes, daydreamed at constellations of spider webs, peeled paint, and family photos on the walls and ceilings, UPN sitcoms, Jerry Springer bras and bleeps, and paid programs about acne products and weight loss training murmured from our dusty fat screen TV. The nocturnal rats loudly squeaked, scrambled the kitchen floor, and cultivated a blueprint to take over the world. The young imagination gone wild again. Outside, the downstairs neighbors argued and fist fought over money and drugs. Adrift juveniles displayed their amateur gunplay. Befuddled 40-year-old men psychologically stuck in high school shattered liquor bottles against the 53206 streets. This is what sometimes kept our scared souls up past midnight, but the wobbly floor fan blew in our faces whispered, "You are going to be okay." Whether I held my mom's hand and walked to Dr. King Elementary, walked by myself for middle school, or waited for bus routes 22 and 60 to Riverside High, I always went to school with a solar plexus full of delicious planets and stars. Mama made it work. That's that.
Yeah, that was really great. Thanks, Kavon. You speak with a lot of passion, and it's great to hear. It's anybody listening in is just going to feed off of your energy. It's really appreciated, especially for us old people that have been stuck in our homes for the last year. Speaking of which, I mean, you're compared to me at least, you're quite young, right? You're half my age. You're a full grown adult, of course, right? But then
what?
Young people like you have lots of dreams and future goals, and it's for older people, either they're living their dream or they're counting all the dreams they never got to see come to fruition. So, would you be able to share some of your future goals or dreams that you have?
I think for the people who are not able to pursue their dreams or whatever, I'm able to vicariously live my life through other people's eyes, and with my narrations, they can vicariously live out their dream through my eyes. The narration about the drink and draw session, the essence of cool, they get to experience Milwaukee through me, and they can just sit at home, lay back, and just listen to me. I had a weird episode with my friend Julia. I realized my importance to not just to the Milwaukee community, but to the world. And I have Kwabena Nixon and Mohib Daya to thank for that, for helping me find my purpose in life. I am one of those lucky people who found it earlier. So I guess my dream is just to help people pursue their dreams. Not be too nice, I guess. When I was 19, I would show up for everybody. 232-pound 19-year-old showing up on a bike for everyone, and I needed to take a step back and just work on me. And so I'm 26 now. This is my 27th year. Getting ready for. I turned 27 7 months from now.
That's great. That's great. I like how your poetry is about things here locally in Milwaukee, because this type of a stream, for example, goes out and everybody can see it, and we all have friends all around the world and are all around the country as well, and so it's got to be kind of interesting for them to hear some of these specific locations in Milwaukee that you refer to, and you're somebody that actually experienced hanging out in those places, and that's what poetry is all about, is sort of documenting our life experiences that we've had. It's definitely appreciated. I'm going to let you carry on now. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm a lone wolf. I love being alone with myself and my thoughts. And this is for our beautiful inland sea. I've never been to the ocean before, but have let Lake Michigan douse me with its radiance. I've dipped my feet in its glacial wine, whether with a beauteous muse or by myself. Sometimes I love to be alone, trapped in an echo chamber of ambient soothsayers, curled up into a fortune cookie on the lukewarm sand with the curtains closed. Eyes are windows to the soul. I become beautifully imprisoned in myself upon a cathartic altitude we couldn't achieve. A younger me takes flight on a white Pegasus and soars throughout my soul's Apollonian Alps, peers over every precipice, drinks out every crystal waterfall, rests under every weeping willow as I idly stare at the ocean. No, wait, the lake, but everyone knows this body of blue is an ocean to us Milwaukeeans. Everyone knows this body of blue is Cream City's life. How will we brew our beer without it? How sad would our summers be if we were to bike, walk, beach cruise across Lake Drive and not see it? What would New Year's polar bear plunge be without it? We would plunge into a mucky chasm of sewage, orange barricades and empty PBR cans. Flashes of toxic phosphates would temporarily blind us. We would go home sad and drink the year away. But how can we even inebriate our sadness without its existence? Milwaukee without Lake Michigan is a rose without rain, a collectivo with no coffee, a packer gang with no celebratory Lambo leap, a brewer gang with no bratwurst. If you go to the top of Reservoir Park, you will see Lake Michigan's horizon is a ribbon to go, tying the city together. Grab your paramour by the hand and in the city's felicity sits on the dewy grass and let the changing seasons sing for you. The world is going to end one day when Cream City goes silent, when the downtown buildings start to implode one by one, when city buses and cars are buried under concrete ash and rubble, when the street lights flash yellow, when the city washes away, we will have to run for our lives into the inland sea with only the clothes on our backs, with only peace, love, and cheese clogged in our hearts. Remember, Lake Michigan lets Milwaukee know how beautiful she is. Every morning, the electric phoenix spreads its wings. Take care of your water. That's that piece.
That is really great. I love that. I haven't always lived in this area. And when I lived in other places in the world, I always thought about Lake Michigan, and it's so pretty. It's like an ocean in itself, and it's also a source of water for all of us. So it's a kind of an important part of our lives. You speak with such rhythm with your poetry. Have you ever thought about having music as a backdrop to your poetry, to your recitation?
Yes. Thanks to my friends like Alex Heaton. You go on SoundCloud. My friend Alex Heaton. He's a super math nerd. He has all these rhythm in his head. His brain probably studied the rhythm of the narration, and he put a beat to it on SoundCloud. And my friend Therese Good, she adds the soundscape to my work. She didn't add one to Paris in the Midwest, but she added one to Fried Bologna and Kool-Aid. And so I think the words and the soundscape kind of complement each other to paint a better picture for the audience to experience without there being like a movie or without me standing up here moving around.
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. These types of projects that you undertake, it's a type of art integration, right? You're combining different types of art forms into one, and if people do more of this type of stuff, you can bring a lot of different types of people together and create some interesting types of inspiration. And by the way, you referred to your SoundCloud link. I also put that in the comments section, and I see there's also some comments I should get to here. I'll let you carry on. You have some more poetry for us?
Cool. How about one more?
One more? Okay. All right. Carry on.
Cool. After experiencing Milwaukee, I somehow found and organized all the right words to describe the city. And I'm the morning coffee guy. I would see this strange when I was little in kindergarten. I would see this strange man like biking around like that's the Elementary, and I wake up 21 years later like, oh, like that was me. And I think now in Milwaukee, I see my future self around Milwaukee. He's watching me, and he's always in my peripheral. One day I'm gonna catch him. And so I love Lex Milwaukee to bring it all together. I met the poet laureate of Los Angeles, Mr. Luis J. Rodriguez, in Chicago at a block party. He wrote a love poem to LA. I wrote a love letter to Milwaukee. I love you, Milwaukee. I love your coffee shops and art galleries, Fuel Cafe, where I experienced my coming of age among hipsters and punks. People watched, inhaled the rich redolence of coffee. Var Gallery, where I sipped Stella's hard cider, composed naked poses in a Febrano sketchbook. Christina behind the bar, dishing out bottles. I love your narrow corridors, Brady Street, nestled in Rochambeau. College kids with open textbooks and laptops. Arabic men at the tea tables watching soccer matches from an overhead flat screen. Long hair bohemians and tie-dye. I enjoy to sit upstairs by your window, listening to the philosophical conversations and laughter at the bar below. I love your springtime cardinals, Canadian geese, pods, ridges, a city we can experience winter, spring, summer, and fall in 1 week. Fluorescent leaves fall as an Indian summer beats sweat. Next day, your scurrilous winds remind us, yeah, we are still in Wisconsin. We sniffle, sneeze in October's frigid air. It gives us an excuse to break out more fashionable apparel. Neck scarves, winter caps, blazers. You are so unpredictable, Milwaukee. What a beautiful city. A visit to Versailles headed downtown over the Hone Bridge. I can't wait to enjoy and embrace all you have to offer. A city built over a swamp. City Hall, the sing it to its primitive layers. Our own leaning tower of Pisa, Mayor Baird called it. If one steps outside Discovery World at night, the downtown is lit by the U.S. Bank Index and all of its fingers studded with orbs of marmalade lights. The Northwest Mutual Building is a new city spectacle. Countless orange barricades as the streetcar makes a comeback. The sleeping Calatrava rests its wings. You are a pleasant land, Milwaukee, or Algonquin, Milwaukee, a city with a bloodshed past, scars were cuts in your back, Fox, Sox, Menominee, Potawatomi, Ojibwe tribes once flourished the land before European contact. Latinos made the South Side home after the police took a white flight. Blacks came for a new life out of the South's racial stigma. My mother came from Whiteville, Tennessee, a runaway teenager. I ran away from her mental abuse with a backpack full of comp books and dreams. I didn't want her to redline my aspirations. Germans came and fell in love with Lake Michigan, built Pabst, Slits, Lax, Miller breweries. They call you the city that made beer famous. Well, no wonder why we are so drunk. You are drunkest, most segregated, north side, black, south side, brown. Community members facilitate bike rides, open mics, meetings to bridge the gap. Red, bike, and green, Stitch Milwaukee, Zip MKE. I still see you through rose-colored lenses. Ignorant of the deadly overnight shootings the news speaks of on streets I was raised. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Bronzeville's revitalization pinches the shoulder of my infant past. Pete's Fruit Market is open and Value Village is gone. Hey, but did you hear they are rebuilding the Black Holocaust Museum? My mother worked there in the late 90s, the only maintenance worker. Founder James Cameron lived on the same block as us, Fifth and North Ave. My mother cried at the television screen when he died in 2006. Dr. King K-8, an African-American immersion school on 3rd and Ring, best in the worst days of my teenage life, full of aspirational angst, age 13. Then I met Kwabena and Muhib, who inspired me to write poetry. Best thing to ever happen to me. I shedded blood in a composition notebook. I have not stopped writing since. I will always love you, MKE. Even at the drug dealer set ablaze the house next door on 24th and Broadline, I never seen flames fang upward so close. Even after you shot up our home, 8 bullets through the front window, we caught pieces of white plaster from the ceiling. Even after you gave me chicken pox, a sophomore, a week before exams, my mom and I went to Carter Drugs. Mr. Carter gave us calamine. I escaped 53206 that summer on junkyard bikes my stepdad brought over. I didn't want to be among the gunshots and derelict houses. I didn't want to stay stuck behind the systemic red lines. I biked to the east side in the 3rd Ward. I didn't know so many white people lived here. I kept biking and biking. Even after high school, I wrote down my history in coffee houses and parks. Fuel Cafe, Lonesome, and Riverside Park. Why did you make me feel lonely, Milwaukee? You are a paramour's paradise. Who wouldn't want to hold hands, kiss barefoot on the Bradford Beach sand? Who wouldn't want to spend summer within you? Every day is a party. Fish fry in a flick. Washington Park bench shelves, underwear bike ride. Kaddish Park skylight music. Chill on the hill. I adore you in summer, though the lake's to extent still catches my nose off guard. No matter how many times I bike across it, downtown food trucks make up for it. If I was still a meat eater, I would snag a bratwurst with the ketchup squeeze and sauerkraut in seconds. You are a city full of smells. You are a coffee shop haven. Walker's Point, Anodyne, Valentine Coffee, Fuel Cafe, Rochambeau, Prospect Colectivo are writer's heaven. A city in the tug of war with the past and present. New Bucks Arena, but a streetcar slithers through downtown. Most segregated U.S. city, dare to climb over the Holden Street Berlin Wall. Community members facilitate bike rides, open mics, meetings to bridge the gap. Not only the most segregated, but the drunkest. Makes sense. We need a drink after fed the biased baloney racist serves us. Your unpredictable weather plays with my emotions. I don't care though, because in June, you summertime fine, baby. Worst city for Black folks? Well, what city isn't? Don Sherman Hamilton and the Sherman Park Blaze are reasons we should be here in the social justice fight. I cannot wait to leave, come back after a European tour, feeling like a tourist. I will sit next to my aluminum pony upon the reservoir hilltop, gaze at the downtown view, and remember where I was and who I used to be. I love you, Milwaukee.
That was incredible. That was really great. Nice. I mean, you know, your background is so interesting because you've experienced a lot of different sides of Milwaukee, right? Like, and you're able to clearly see what's segregated, you know, and where the lines get blurred. You know, like you said, you go over to the third ward, and all of a sudden everything's very white, right?
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And then I love how you try to tie this to. I remember a conversation I had with you once, where you know, things change over time, but maybe about 2 or 3 years ago when I talked with you, you said you had a dream of going to Indonesia sometime, right? And
that's my Adrift in Batavia narration. Great picking and
oh.
Wisconsin.
Okay. Okay. And then now in this poem, it seems like you alluded to traveling to Europe, right? And
Yeah.
it's people who travel the world. They have a different way of looking at the world, right? They have kind of a certain perspective of where maybe they're not so involved with some of these conflicts or tensions, right? Which means they, you know, also don't really have a right to weigh in on what should be done, right? But they have like a certain outside perspective of things that are going on, and they can see all, you know, the causes of some of the turmoils and things that, or the personal differences that people have, right? So you're in a very unique and interesting position because you've got a lot of different views going on in your mind. Thank you so much for sharing your incredible poetry. We'll definitely have you come back and do this again. And maybe you can come back in a group. It'd be cool to have some music as a backdrop to everything that you're saying.
Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe Alex Heaton will be back in town, or maybe Luke Rickard.
Cool.
Will, be in Milwaukee sometime.
Yeah, I saw him comment on your Facebook post there. So he's obviously, I bet he's tuning in right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Kavon. All right, we're gonna continue on here for a little bit longer. We'll have a stage set. I'll play a tune. Either I'll drag on a really long tune, or we'll divide it up into 2 different sets. We'll see. But we'll say goodbye to Kavon and thank you for his wonderful performance. And then we'll do a quick little stage switch around here. I'm getting used to this here. Let's see if I can bring it up. Do we get it? Oh, it's not working. Come on. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I have to remove here. Okay, let's see here. All right, and we're back. I'm a one-man crew here. We're going to do this. Oh, and then let's get a good angle here. All right. That should be good. Since my forehead's cut off. Let's go like this. That should work, right? Okay. And thank you for those of you. Oh, we lost all our. It must have been Kavon's friends there. But I know some people watch us later on recording on YouTube. So, all right. So we're gonna keep going here with a little bit more music, and I'll link a few. We'll do a few love songs. We'll keep things romantic here tonight. We had poetry, right, and then we'll move on into some romantic music. So, we'll do a sandwich here. We'll have a jazz standard followed by a pop tune followed by another jazz standard. We'll link them all together. Thank you. Oh, I got some viewers here. Oh, welcome. Let's see. Well, I guess I should tell you what I just played. The first one was The Way You Look Tonight. The Way You Look Tonight. And then we had Can't Help Falling in Love with You, followed by I Remember You. Okay, now I've got myself all worked into this love theme here. So I'm going to, speaking of love, one of the pianists I really love to listen to when you need to be relaxed or just enjoy some really high quality piano music, Bill Evans is really fantastic. So I'm going to play a couple of my favorite. I mean, I don't have any favorite Bill Evans. I guess I do, but there's just so many good ones. It's hard to like pick and choose which ones you like the most. So I'll link some Bill Evans music together here. Just got to remember. Let's see. All right, that was I don't know if the last one's considered a love song, but the first one is "Like Someone in Love," and then the second one is "I Will Say Goodbye." So I guess you could say "Like Someone in Love, I Will Say Goodbye." That's if you're saying goodbye to your lover, I guess. So anyway, we'll end things here for the evening. I just would like to say real quick a great thank you to Kavon, who was fantastic, and we'll definitely have more of Kavon in the future going forward. If you are a musician, send me a message if you're into doing something like this. There is money involved at this point. It looks like we're going to have we have some nice gradual momentum moving forward here right now, which is perfect because there's a lot of work involved in doing some of these things. So it's nice to be able to see where you can develop and then try to figure out how to make it work. So, the pace we're going at is pretty good. If you're a musician and you want to do something like this, please reach out to me. You probably are friends with me on Facebook or can have my cell number or something like that. In March, we already have our schedule lined up. March 13th, Saturday night. That's our next performance, 7 p.m. It's the Donna Woodall Trio. March 27th is also set to go. That is the Neil Davis, Steve Peplin duo. We're just going to have these two performances in March. If we start to pick up more donations in March, possibly in April, we'll schedule one on every Saturday in April. When we get enough donations, that's when we'll start to have these performances once every week. So please contribute if you can. If you can't, we totally get it. It's a really rough time for everybody. But let's see. What did I hear someone say? Basically whatever you would give if you were in a jazz venue and you give tips to the performers. These are tips you could be giving to these performers here that are performing online. It's a similar gig, and it's nice not just for the musicians, but also there's still people stuck at home, and it's nice to be able to reach them and give them a little bit of entertainment, make them feel like they're still part of the community. With that, I will wish all of you a really wonderful rest of this Saturday evening.